Skyrim, we're doing the Dawn Guard add-on. Okay, we're in the Forgotten Vale, and it's not really a side quest. It's just part of it. There's four of the ancient Falmer tomes out here, and they're not easily obtained either.
Are you prepared to honor
If you're not actually looking to get them,
his enlightenment?
like the only one I actually found
Ariel,
throughout this was one pretty much on the way out of this area,
and everlasting wisdom,
which would be number 4. And looking online, I've noticed that there's actually 4 of these books. Now the dude up at Winterhold College, the orc dude, he'll give you like 2,000 a book, so it's a decent payday, no question about it. But the thing is that it's not like, you know, one of your side quest thing on your thing. It's just when you collect one of the book, it'll tell you to, you know, bring it to the guy. Okay, so from this way shrine, we're going to get our first book. And in any of the Skyrim videos I make, I mention it, to save a lot, save often. This game could lock up in a heartbeat, and it's never convenient when it does do it. So when you've collected something, make sure to save the game. That's just me. Okay, so from here we're going to kind of go straight ahead where these broken pillars are. Just kind of follow the broken pillars along the waterway. And the first book is actually quite easy, although I never collected it. I've been in here at least 2 times, if not 3 already. This will be the 3rd or 4th time. Anyhow, the reason for that is, you know, the first time I played it, and then the second time I didn't. Something happened with the game, so I had to reload to a previous spot before this, and I had to play it again. And then when I was doing it, I replayed it as the vampire side. Anyway, here's our first book. There's one thing about this: there's plenty of loot to be had. And that's going to be our first tome right there. Alright, I'll come up to take it to the dude up in Winterhold. Okay, the second book, you need to get the Emerald Paragon little egg, Fabergé looking egg thing. Last time through here I actually collected, you know, you'll see these mutated giants out here, and you loot them, and they got these egg shaped looking things. You got you know, a sapphire one, and then the one we need to get is the emerald one. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. But as you progress, getting to our next way shrine, there's a giant over here, and we're going to go ahead and take him out.
Where'd you come from? That'll teach you.
And he's not going to have the emerald one, but he's got one of the other ones. There it is. Okay, so like I was mentioning, there's plenty of loot when it comes to these add-ons, and nevertheless, so what you want to do is just continue on the path here. We want to get to our next way shrine, and off the top of my head, I want to think it's the learning one. But from that way shrine is where we're going to take, you kind of jump off the side a little bit, you get down to where the Paragon little portal is, and you can put any one of these eggs in there, and they kind of take you to different places. Okay, but the thing is, we need the emerald one. So the emerald one is basically further down thing, but we're going to go ahead and get to the next way shrine. And from there, there's a couple things we want to make sure to go further south down there, although it doesn't really retain to the books. There's like an iced over lake there, and 2 dragons are going to pop out that you need to deal with, but there's a word wall down there, so you want to make sure to go down there, at least get that. But you're going to have to deal with the 2 dragons, and by all means, you know, take the fight to them, and, you know, loot their bodies as well, because they give out, you know, lots of good stuff as well. So right here, you would just keep continuing down the path, and that would take you to the frozen lake.
Are you prepared
Fight
to
the 2
honor
dragons.
mantras
You'll
of
see that in the video, and then the
fill
word
your
wall's up
vessel
there as
with his
well.
enlightenment? Then go forth, child.
Okay, so right to the left, basically straight ahead where we're looking, is where the little portal is for the Paragon little eggs there. Okay, I've never actually come to this area off of this mission. You know, like that guy at the end, the snow elf dude will bless your arrows to make sun burst arrows. Alright, across the way here's another giant. He does not have the emerald paragon egg that we need. But by all means, take him out and loot his body. He does have another one, the sapphire one or something like that. And both of those will take you to different areas, different loot. One takes you to a cave, and the water kind of takes you back to the dark water caverns, where you'd have to probably use the first way shrine to kind of get back to this area again. But I went in there. There's nothing to be had. Really, at this point again, I got more loot and money than I know what to do with, so I don't seek out extra treasure. But anyway, loot this giant, get the other egg if you feel like checking it out. But in order to get the next book, we need to continue on with the path. Okay, now we can get back to the way shrine we were just at. You don't have to fall down the waterfalls here and take the long way. You can just go up the hill there and get back to this. So get back here, and like I was mentioning before continuing on, head down to the water way there where the lake is, and make sure to take out the 2 dragons and get your word wall in. Alright, as soon as you get down to the flat plain area, the 2 dragons will pop up. And take them out. Okay, the word wall will be up here, and there'll be a chest most likely with some loot in it. Okay, so from the way shrine, you just want to continue the path. You're gonna, you know, the Falmer have got quite the little maze of bridges and huts all along the way. And it's funny, Serrano will be like, I don't know, this is pretty shoddy construction. And I'm like, I don't know, for a blind race of elves with no apparent trees around, or very little, they They seem to have made themselves quite a little thing here for being a blind race of elves or whatever. So anyhow, like I said, just keep following the path. You're going to work your way up. And off on the side, there'll be a little gate here. Excuse me. And then the giant's up here. Excuse me. So go ahead and take out the giant. And he's got the emerald paragon egg or whatever that thing is that we need to get to our next book. A frost giant. Okay, so that's what we need. So now we need to make a beeline back to that portal. Okay, and I think what all I did was basically go straight off the edge of the mountain here. Now if you got the one shout that kind of keeps you from taking damage, you use that. I forget exactly how I did that here. Well, let's see here in a second. So obviously if you don't have this shout, you're most likely going to have to take the long way back.
Fight!
Obviously you can continue on to the next way shrine and then just fast warp through the shrines to get back to that one. That's also another option. So again, right for here, we kind of cross the waterway over the little hill here to get to the little portal. Again, there's a total of 4 books altogether, and although it's really up to you whether you want to take the time to do it, because it's just money. If you only bring 1, he'll give you 2. If you bring 4, you'll get 8,000. Alright, so go ahead and load up the emerald one here. Okay, once in, I believe you just kind of, on this same side, just take the waterway down a little bit. Kind of wanted to see what was on this side. If I didn't search this out online about the books, I mean, I remember finding those, I killed the giants and I had the eggs, the paragon things, whatever you want to call them, but I never really knew what they were for. That little portal thing is not exactly on the way, so I would have never really known to look for it. Alright, so there's our book, and there's plenty of loot here. Okay, so you collect the book and basically just continue on with the path, and then the path leads you right up to that glacier cave there. If you found this book before, it was just easier when they said, you know, once you get to the cave, just backtrack. I like that bridge there, you know. How does a blind race of people make that happen? Anyway, backtrack to this one hut here. Our next book is in there, and the usual loot is around. I always collect all the ingredients for potions, but potions are something that I don't really take the time to create. As far as like health potions, plenty of those have come across. I don't see any need to really make them, but poisons are something that I've been using quite a bit on some stronger enemies and dragons. You know, anything you can do to make your life a little easier. Okay, anyway, you get through the cave, you come back out on the other side of the Forgotten Vale, and there's like this little maze of Falmer development, whatever you want to call it, the intertwining of bridges and huts and all that. And at the end of one of these is our books. And this is the one that I found all the time. And it was the only book that I ever found. I never really thought about, you know, seeking out further books. So basically, you know, when I searched out the quest on the Dawnguard add-on, you know, that's when I found out there was 4 books altogether. So, you know, I was searching out the books, so I decided to go ahead and make a video on them as well. So maybe as you're working your way through the Forgotten Vale, you can go ahead and collect the books. I mean, an extra 8 to 10,000 in money is always useful. As far as I goes, the money's great, but I always just do it for the XP or respect or whatever they call leveling up here. As it is, I just reached halfway through 80, and I just fought the Ebony Warrior, and that was quite the battle. No question about it. He worked me, so... Anyway, feel free to loot as much stuff as you can, and then when you get done, take the books up to the guy up at Winterhold. If you like the videos, you can always support us by checking out the ads.